This month's video is all about the RailCore. And if you watched any of the live streams while I was building mine, I believe there were 7 of them, you know that I had a few issues along the way. So I thought it would be interesting to go over what the RailCore is, why it exists, and the issues that I had during my build. Now, when Steve White and Tony Aiken set out to design the RailCore, they had cost effectiveness in mind. Now, this kit is the tall version from Printed Solid. It has a few extra add-ons, but after you buy the hot end and the kit, it costs around $2,200. And I know that I just said cost effective in my previous sentence, but if you look at the frame design, it is 15 by 15 extrusion, some corner cubes, and these HDPE plastic panels to hold it all together. And it does make a really rigid frame. And that frame design by itself only costs around $100. So that is a really good base to build a printer that can be fast and accurate. But the faster and more accurate you go, the more high-end parts you're going to have. If we take a look at a picture of a RailCore, this is the shorter regular version. This one is from the Printed Solid site. You can kind of see what we have laid out here. And the reason that I'm showing you the picture instead is because my printer is so tall that I can barely get the camera up to show you what's going on inside it. We'll talk more about that in a second. But you can see at the top of the printer, we have linear rails combined with a Core XY design. The motors for the A and B are on the right of the printer, as well as all the electronics. This is the upgraded Printed Solid version where you have the doors and some extra covers and different things like that. But you have 3 lead screws. Mine has single start screws for more accuracy, but you can adjust them all independently to get a perfectly level bed. This one does appear to have a few of the aluminum parts as well, but originally this was a rep wrap design where a lot of the parts were printed. So the printer can absolutely be self-sourced if you want to go for the maximum bang for the buck. And the first thing you need to do if you want to print fast is have a sturdy frame, and this combination achieves that. And then we take the RailCore name itself. If you want fast and accurate, Core XY is a great way to go, and linear rails, hence RailCore. And put all that together, and you have a really precise motion system that's capable of high speed and high accuracy. And to top all that off, all of the parts that you print on this machine, you can actually swap those out for custom aluminum parts, which further increases the accuracy of the machine and possibly the speed. And by default, it is recommended you use 0.9 degree steppers for the A and B motor that give you even more granularity. But then we get into things like the electronics. How should you run this beast and how can you keep up? Well, the default setup is Duet. And you can see my configuration has been done in traditional Chris's Basement fashion. My wire management is a mess, but we do have a Duet 2 Wi-Fi board up here, and to support those extra Z motors, we have the breakout DuX board down here. They all have Trinamic 2660 drivers that make it a little quieter. Now, of course, you can use other 32-bit boards and save some money, but the Duet has certain features that make things really easy to use, and the leveling that it does, being able to do it independently on all those Z motors, is kind of hard to achieve in Marlin right now. But we should see that feature come along at some time. So the electronics do add to the cost of this machine. That set of boards is probably over $300. But also the higher end power supply. This is a Meanwell. And the SSR. They really didn't cheap out on anything. This is an actual Panasonic brand SSR. And you don't have to worry about if it fails, it will be stuck open. These are quite a bit safer than some of the other cheaper models. And as for Z, we do have single start lead screws supported by a long linear rail, and the print bed is 6mm aluminum with a 750 watt AC heater underneath. And as part of the ZLT kit from Printed Solid, you do get a lot of upgraded parts. A lot of these parts would traditionally be printed. For instance, these Z brackets right here. These are solid milled aluminum in this upgraded kit. As well as your X brackets back here on this linear rail. As well as your Z motor holders up here that we saw before. But all of those are custom parts manufactured by other companies or Project Red. And they are extremely high-end pieces, milled out of a solid piece of aluminum. And as I stated before, the more solid that your frame and your kinematics or your motion system is, the faster you can go and the higher your accuracy is going to be. As much as I like 3D printed parts on my printer, it's not going to be any contest to a lot of these high-end aluminum ones. And it's going to be really hard for you to see, But I did go with the Mosquito hot end on my configuration. I also have a Bondtech BMG for feeding it. Now, of course, you can use any hot end you like. There's lots of different mounts out there. The V6 is a great hot end, and it would save you quite a bit of money versus the Mosquito. But I built my RailCore as a one and done. I don't ever want to have to upgrade anything. I want to be able to just print fast and hopefully at a high volume. So my plan is at some point to switch this out to a lot larger nozzle so we can knock out large prints relatively quickly. And even little things that go towards the cost of this kit, like these genuine Gates belts. These things are around 10 bucks a meter, and when you're setting up Core XY, that's a whole lot of belt. And to further show value about going with a RailCore kit, even things like the wiring harness. They have fully terminated all of the wires for you, so you don't have to mess around with re-plugging wires or creating them from scratch. And if you've ever had to convert over to a duet or any other type of connector, it is a very arduous and tedious task to put all those plugs and pins together. So the RailCore, in short, is a really sturdy frame design that's set up in the Core XY motion and has linear rails to try to achieve high speeds and high accuracy. And of course, it is an open source project, so you can source them yourself if you wish, so you can pick which components you'd like to save a little money on, or which ones you'd like to go really high end. But now on to the issues that I had with my build, and the whole thing starts with these panels. So the first couple of streams, everything actually went pretty well. The frame went together okay, it was squaring up, all the extrusions looked good, and I was getting it all bolted together. And then I started to want to put these panels on. This is the bottom panel. These panels are what actually makes this whole structure work. The 15 by 15 extrusion isn't going to be very good on its own, but after you encapsulate it with this HDPE plastic, it becomes extremely solid. And the issue I had was a very simple one. Printed Solid has been cutting all of these panels for their kits, and they had one flaw in the file for this bottom panel for the ZLT model only. And I'm pretty sure that I'm one of the only few that has one of these kits. So you shouldn't be impacted going forward. But just a silly mistake in that CNC file made a couple of these holes too short. They wouldn't line up with the extrusion, and I couldn't continue. But I got a hold of Dave. He instantly corrected the file and recut all these panels for me and sent them over. After a couple of days, I had my new panels, and I could start building again. So problem solved. So Dave fixed the problem, no issues at all, but honestly after that, I was suffering from build fatigue. Getting the panels on this frame and getting it adjusted just right is a real pain. And people had warned me about installing these panels ahead of time. But I was kind of disgusted with the whole thing for a couple of weeks and wanted to take a break and get on with something else. But after I came back and started working on some of the other parts, it started to be just a little bit more fun again. I did run into a few other little issues, but nothing that's a huge deal. One of the things that was just a little bit surprising, other than the bottom panel, was the holes for the PSU and for the SSR were not drilled. Again, that was a CNC file issue. Once again, I got a hold of Dave, he corrected that, so everything going forward should be just fine. It was really easy for me to fix. Dave gave me the parameters and the sketch to make the holes in the correct locations. I drilled them, and we continued building. So after that little fix, everything else went just fine, and we were able to get out a test print. I do have to say that tweaking this machine to get it lined up just right is a bit of a challenge. Especially on this taller version where you have a long rail and rod, you want to make sure those are lined up perfectly so you don't have any wobble, or you will see those artifacts in your print. Tony does have a great video on how to get that done. I'll leave a link to that in the description. And that leads me to the next good thing about RailCore is the community that surrounds it. There's a ton of people that have these that are avid RailCore users, and they all have great slicer profiles that you can use for your machine. And that's the stage that I'm at right now, trying to tweak my own slicer to get everything to look as good and be as fast as I think it should be. And this is my latest attempt on the RailCore. This is Hellboy from Fotis Mint. I do have some curling. I'm using a Wham Bam sheet. I need to tweak that just a bit, maybe some temperatures to get it to stick down just a little bit better. It came out pretty good, but I definitely have some room for improvement. I do believe I need to check the Z-rods one more time because on this side it looks pretty good. This side there's just a bit of ribbing, and this is the side where there's only one lead screw. So there might be some adjustments there. I was moving the machine around, and of course I introduced one little shift right here because the printer actually touches the ceiling, which by the way was probably one of the biggest problems while live stream building this printer, is that it was way too tall for the table. But that's beside the point. But I think the print looks pretty good. This is Prusament. Prusament always turns out fairly well. We've got a little ways to go, but I can already see the potential of this machine. And now you're all caught up on the progress of the RailCore. And I have to say, I learned a ton during this process. And that's the big thing that I like about doing builds, especially live, is you get to hang out with the community. A lot of the original designers of the RailCore even joined us in chat. I got to talk with them directly and learn things from them about why they built it and why they did what they did and how it's improved over time. And as always, like I said before, the community surrounding the RailCore is awesome, and there's always somebody available to help out. Hopefully you found this somewhat interesting. These videos are just for you, my awesome Patreon supporters, and I will see you on the next coffee break.